welcome to East Farthing. So first time I've actually shot from up on the allotment and letting you see what's what. So fair warning, it's really rough at the moment. I'm doing a lot of work up here. As you can tell, this isn't makeup, this is pink cheeks from digging. I'm really starting from basics up here. So forgive me for the fact that it's not picture perfect. So this is what I inherited last year when I took over. A whole lot of grass, really thick matted roots and almost impossible to dig through. So that's why all of that has been covered in plastic now. We also had all of this strange fencing made out of old pallets that really needed ripping out. So many thanks to Indy from Vintage Tomorrows for helping me with that. Most of it was covered with a couple of huge kiwi vines, none of which produced any edible kiwis whatsoever. So they had to go, along with the fruit trees, which were sadly on the plot and produced about 2 or 3 pieces of fruit over the entire year. They went as well. Pretty much the only thing that I've kept has been the strawberries, so they will go back in this year. So after all of that, I've spent a huge amount of time over the past couple of months sheeting everything over and taking everything down. So all of the fruit trees, the kiwi, everything, that's all gone. So what I wanted to do was start pretty much with a blank slate. And that's what I've got. So I'll give you a little bit of a tour of what we've got going on. So here we've got what's going to eventually end up as my main vegetable bed, and this has all been sheeted down with plastic to kill all of the weeds and grass underneath it. I ran out of plastic, as you can see, around about this kind of area, so I will just have to, as I clear bits, I will resheet that bit down, and yeah, it's an ongoing process. Nothing happens instantly in gardening or allotmenteering, so you take everything slowly. So that side, that's going to be vegetable beds. On this side, the plan is to have fruit beds. So as you can see, I've just started laying out down the bottom bit here. This is going to be a strawberry bed. I saved some strawberries from last year when I inherited the plot, and I've got a few more there, and I'm going to put those in, see what they come to this year. I don't know how old they are, so they might not do much, but they might give me some runners for next year, so it's worth a little bit of an investment to see what's what. And then on the bottom part here, where once again it's only partially sheeted, I'm going to be putting raspberries, and I've got a gooseberry as well that Rowena gave to me, which is just there. That's the gooseberry, and that's going to be going in as well. I might need to construct some kind of basic fruit cage for this as well, because I think all of my little birdie friends, including Idris the robin, might get quite excited about fresh fruit. You can probably hear Idris singing away, he's right behind me. Down the bottom I've got the happiest thing known to man, which is an allotment bonfire. I will set fire to that when the weather is a little bit drier and I've got some time, and before the clocks change, as on this plot we're only allowed to have bonfires during the winter months. So that's just to make it nice for all the people who live around, because it's not nice to get smoke going all the time. So yeah, that's the plan. The weed membrane over here, this isn't plastic, this is proper weed membrane, so I can plant straight through it and the water will go through. As you can see, there's no standing water on this, whereas you might be able to see there is some standing water on the plastic. So I can just dig straight through this, and hopefully this will suppress all the weeds that come up and might otherwise strangle my fruit. So that's that. Now, where I'm currently standing, I'll just turn around. This is what I've been doing today so far. Last year I put in a catch crop of some potatoes, and I thought they'd all gone. I didn't think they were any use because I couldn't buy seed potatoes last year. I literally used the bottom of a bag of potatoes that went a bit sprouty that I'd got from Lidl. The ones that we couldn't eat, I put in the ground, and I didn't think they'd come to much, and they did get blighted quite early because of the hot, humid weather that we had last year. However, I've been digging it over, trying to get out the vast amount of bindweed that's in there, and what I have discovered is potatoes, really big potatoes. Look how big those are. Great. So we're going to have baked potatoes there. Now, this is where all of the construction part of the allotment is going to be going on. So here we've got the cold frame on the left hand side, and a couple of compost bins front and back, a bath which will eventually end up being my asparagus bed, and here we've got the thing that I'm most excited about. So this is the current thing that's making me quite excited. This is a free little shed that I was gifted very generously by a lady from Facebook. Now I've been waiting, it's one of the little plastic sheds from Keta, and it didn't come with any screws, hence why she was giving it away. So I've had to send off and get some. It's taken 3 months for these screws to come through, so I've missed an awful lot of time up here, but I have the screws now, so I'm going to be building. Now, as you might be able to see, this is my allotment plot, and these are all my neighbours, and oh my goodness, there's some lovely sheds and greenhouses, and over the back there's a huge polytunnel, so lots of lovely stuff, and I'm quite jealous. I'm really jealous because I want a shed too. I mean, who wouldn't? So the whole purpose of having a shed on allotment is when it gets a bit grim, it's somewhere to shelter. So if you get a sudden downpour, you can hide in your shed, which is a great thing. And hopefully I will be putting in a little camp stove and a kettle, so that I can have a cup of tea when it gets all horrible. Maybe when it doesn't get horrible as well, because you know me, I just like tea. So it's somewhere to have tea, it's somewhere to rest, it's somewhere to store all of my garden tools, and my compost and my pots, all of which are kind of like stashed in various places around the allotment, or I had to keep bringing up and down from home. And it is a little way from home, so it's a long way to be carrying everything every day. So I'm looking forward to that. And the main reason, and this is the thing that nobody tells you, is as a middle-aged allotment woman, is after menopause your bladder is about that big, and I need to wee quite a lot, and I can't wee anywhere. There's nowhere private because there's just houses everywhere, and up until about 10 minutes ago I'd got neighbours digging all around me on the other allotment sites. I think they've all gone for lunch now, including one lady over there who I believe runs an Instagram blog called My Little Allotment, and she was filming, so the idea of her catching me having a wee on my allotment in her beautiful pictures, it's not good. So having the privacy of your own shed would be a wonderful thing, because you know, a bucket is a useful thing, and it's great for compost. It starts compost. Why buy compost starter when you can just put wee on it? So that's the plan. I'm really looking forward to it. Sheds are something that get me very excited. I don't know why, I just love sheds. So I'm looking forward to being able to have those. So yeah, that's where we are. At some point I will be upgrading, hopefully, to a nice wooden shed, but right now we're doing everything on a budget. Going to see how we get on with it, because you know, who's got extra money at the moment? We're in the middle of a pandemic, so try and do everything on the cheap, which is also a really interesting exercise in how much you can do for a minimum investment. So I've been given the shed. It cost me literally nothing. Happily Indy gave me a hand to fetch it in his van, so thank you again, Rowena and Indy. They saved my life. So it literally hasn't cost me anything, so I'm quite excited about that. What I'm really looking forward to is starting to get things planted up, having a cup of tea, having a deck chair and a sit down. I've got a little fire pit all ready to come up here, and being able to have, you know, a little fire or a barbecue and a bit of a sit down. It's going to be lovely. Hobbity life at its best. So you're never far away from nature on allotment, particularly not this one. We've had a heron fly over last time I was up here with Rowena and Indy. We've had always got blackbirds, always got robins, particularly Idris, who comes and steals the worms as I dig them out. We had red-tailed kites over once as well as lots of gulls and what have you. So it's a lovely place to come, and as you can hear, it's really peaceful up here, despite the fact we're right on the top of the hill, and the cathedral, if it was the right time, you'd hear the cathedral bells going, which is rather special as well. I'm very, very happy that I've got this allotment where I have. It's perfect. So thank you very much for visiting me on East Farthing today, and I'm going to get back and see if I can sort out some of those strawberries. I don't know if I'll get them in or not today because the sky is starting to look a little bit grey, but at least I can sort out and see how many I've got. So I will catch you next time. Bye.